Awesome. Guys, great to be with you. Oh my gosh, we had such an amazing time this past weekend in Destin. I mean, it was, oh, wasn't it? I know. Gosh, it was so fun for those of y'all that were there. If you weren't there, guys, you can't miss when we do these trips. It is a game changer. It is an absolute game changer, not just in your business, but I really believe in your life. And so, so thankful for all of y'all that came and that were there. And, man, it was an honor to do this with you guys. So love you guys. Hey, today I want to talk about several things. First of all, I want to read a few things and kind of talk through them with you and just give you some food for thought today on kind of some mindset training. And the first, I'm going to give you three ideas. Okay. Number one, big outcome equals do the right thing well. A big outcome in your life is from you doing the right thing well. Number two, you want a big lesson? Do the right thing poorly. That'll give you a big lesson in your life. Do the right thing and do it poorly. Hey, you want a big risk in your life? Do the wrong thing well. Okay, now that's where I want to focus for just a minute. The biggest risk sometimes in life is when we're really good or doing good at the wrong thing. Think about that for a minute. We can be really good per se. I'm going to give it real practical here. Maybe at a job that we're doing, but it could be the biggest risk of our life because we're we're trading time for money. We're building somebody else's dream, and you should be taking a lot of that time and building your own dream. I'm not saying quit your job tomorrow, but you hear my heart, right? Like you should be building your own dream. But yeah, but I'm really good at my job. Yeah, maybe, but where's your job going to get you in the next 10 years, and where could this opportunity get you in the next 10 years? It's polar opposites, right? So what we were talking about a little bit in Destin is just this is a 3 to 5 year run right here. This is what you're going for is a good 3 to 5 year run in Lifeway because we're all the things, all the stars are aligning for a good 3 to 5 year run in this business. And then you're going to set yourself up with enough residual you can do what you need to do in the rest of your life. And I mean that from the bottom of my heart. And so, can your job get you that? Can your other business, if you're a business owner, get you something like that? Like, can you really look at what you're doing today outside of this business and go, yeah, 3 to 5 years, I'll have enough residual coming in, I'll be good? Because chances are no. So sometimes the biggest risk in your life is being really good at the wrong thing. Now, the wrong thing, we can interpret that a lot of different ways. You guys know my faith. You guys understand. I believe that you are that you when you're most aligned with where the Lord wants you to be, where God has you, that's where you're supposed to be. So if that is currently at a different business or a different job, but you feel like you're called to be there, then that's the right thing. Even though if financially it might not be as big of an opportunity, that's still the right thing. But again, I always goes back to you guys get on this call for a reason, and you got a little bit of a something in your stomach and a little fire in your gut, right? And a little feeling that just says, "Hey, there's something more here. There's something more here," and that's what you need to listen to. All right, next. Some of what we believe is the residual, or excuse me, the residue of someone else's thinking. That's true. So here's the question for you. When you think about that, you think about we could be living and believing things just from residue of other people. Is that really how it has to be? That's the question you should ask yourself. Is that really how it has to be? Or is this really what you want? It's so funny. I was just in a counseling session with my son. We met with his counselor. He's in eighth grade. He's going into high school. And they asked parents to come in. They spend 20 minutes going over all the high school stuff. And she's sitting there and you know what she's talking about the whole time? College. She's about college. Hey, listen, this is what the college is going to look at for your GPA. This is what you need to have electives. This is what you need, this, that, and another. And the whole time, and I didn't tell her this, but the whole time, all I could think about is, this is a broken model. This is such a broken model. Like, why are we talking about this? And listen, if my son wants to go to college, depending on where and what he wants to do, I'm all for it, right? But it is a broken model that we train our kids in eighth grade to all be focused on college. That's not the world we live in today. I just we the other day, what, 30,000 jobs. We did talk about this over the weekend. I think we did 30,000 jobs. 30,000 people just lost their job at what, Oracle, I believe. And they're saying by tens of thousands of layoffs are coming from every big company that you can think of. The old dream of going to college and getting a good 9 to 5 and working there for 40 years is gone. And it has been a long time. I don't have to convince you of that, right? But it's a broken model when we think like that. So I believe that the residue of other people's thinking maybe is having a big impact on how we live on a daily basis. And maybe, just maybe, that's not how it's supposed to be. You guys have heard me say this before, but 95% of the world still lives under that mindset that I just explained. 95%. And that 95% share in 5% of the global economy. They're all chasing, they're all hunting, dog eat dog, corporate world, right? The 95% are after the 5%. I don't even realize it, but that's what they're after. Or that's what they have at that's available. Then you have the 5 percenters, and you guys are the 5 percenters because you're on this call that chase freedom. We don't chase security. We chase freedom. We chase opportunity. 95% of the global economy is what we have that we can capture, right? That's why favor is with the people that take the right risk, not the wrong risk, but the right risk. Favor is those people that do something unconventional. Those people that say, hey, I'm not going to subscribe to this way of thinking that maybe worked for my grandparents or maybe my parents, but it doesn't work in today's world. It doesn't work, guys. And so the whole time, again, I wanted to stop that lady and go, this is not what I have in store for my kids. Now, my son, if you know our story and you know us, like he's been an entrepreneur his entire life. All he thinks about is, money and cash flow and gold and silver and all the things. Like he's a business guy. I don't have to worry about him. He'll probably go to college if he can play sports in college, I would think. And if he doesn't get an opportunity to do that, I would think he won't go to college. Lord willing, I'll be able to help him start a business, right? Because that's the way his mind works. But he's understood from a very early age, and I know this is crazy to think about, but probably when he was 10 years old, it clicked in his mind. And he's like, why, Dad, I don't understand. Why do people work for people? He's like, why would you just go to work for somebody and you never could make more than whatever they tell you? I'm like, well, Bubba, I mean, that's kind of the way of the world, and that's what most people do. And when people start companies, they hire people, and we have freedom. So as humans, we get to. He's like, but it doesn't make sense. Like I can't rationalize that. At 10 years old, I'm having this conversation because he got it. He got it. It clicked. And the moment things click in each of our lives, whether it's about that or about something else, is the moment that we can actually start to change things. And so today, I would just ask you, what you're doing today, where you are today, is it because you want to be there and that's where God has you? Or is it because you're just kind of a product of the society, the norms of society, and maybe what your parents wanted you to do, and maybe just what you fell into? And here you sit today. Because I believe, and I know this is, I'm trying to really drive this home here, but I just believe life's too short for that. I do. I believe life is too short to go work the next even decade of your life, even if you're young, go work the next 10 years and build somebody else's dream when you're called for greater things. So consider that. All right. Second thing I want to talk about. It's not a race. It's not a race. You're not ahead. You're not behind. You are here. Enjoy it and make the most of it. Remember, comparison is the thief of all joy. It's not a race. You cannot compare your story to anyone else's because there is no other person in human history that has ever been you, right? It's different for all of us. It's not a race. Okay, now this one got me. I love business. I love this industry. I love investing. I love doing deals. And I've lost money at times when I've made dumb decisions, and it hurts. And Warren Buffett has a little quote that says, you don't have to make it back the way you lost it. You don't have to make it back the way you lost it. Guys, again, too many times, I feel like the biggest risk is to double down. That's the biggest risk. John Maxwell says, and many times in life, you're either going to pivot or you're going to perish. You all heard the saying, I'm going down with the ship. It's my business. I started it. My dad started it, whatever it is. I'm going down with the ship. I don't think so. Who wants to go down with the ship? Like when you have a choice, like that makes no sense to me that you're going to knowingly go down with the ship. You don't have to make it back the same way. You can do things in this business that can create other ways of doing things for you and your family. You can create financial freedom or even just more finances, even if you don't consider it freedom, in this way, a lot easier than you can a lot of other ways. So consider doing something different. I was just on the phone with a buddy of mine for 30 minutes, and he's an investor, but he's also an advisor. And so he invests for other people. And most of the money that he invests is in real estate. And so we were just talking, and he's like, "Man, this has been the worst, 4 years of my life." Um, Commercial real estate specifically, and apartments and office complexes and stuff have really, 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 really got hit over the last 4 years. And I mean in a major way. And so most people that have been in that industry, there's always some that come out on top. There's always some that manage it, but the majority have taken a major hit in that industry. And he's just telling me about, he's like, "Man, my residual was tied to that. My monthly income was tied to that. Like everything was tied to that. And now I'm having to pull all cash reserves that I have and sell things. He's selling things at a loss just to get cash because he's got to pay his bills, literally." And it just reminded me, because he's had years where he's made, substantial amounts of money, and then he's had years like this. But it reminded me of the consistency of what you can build here. Most businesses are cyclical. And you have highs and you have lows, and you have good years and good decades and really bad years and bad decades. But this business is different. This is maybe cyclical as far as growth goes. And maybe you have years where you grow a lot more and then other years where you don't grow as much, but the residual comes every month. People order X39 every month. Are you with me? Like what you're building here comes every month. And as he's talking, I'm thinking through it, and I'm like, man, so much of the last decade of Joe and I's life, and some risks that we've been able to take, some moves we've been able to make, um, some investments we've been able to do, like just some things that we've been able to do, have all come because, hear me, because we have a residual weekly income, cash flow, cash flow, cash flow, week after week after week. It frees you up to make, Lord willing, wise decisions and do some things that otherwise you can't do. It's such a reminder of what we have here. I just want to encourage you guys. I think we sometimes underestimate the power of this business, the power of what we have. Once once you reach a level of income in this business, there's certain levels of income that at certain levels will unlock certain things in your mind. What I mean by that is, first of all, you're skeptical maybe, or you're hungry and you're dreaming, and then reality sets in, and then you have you know a come to Jesus meeting with yourself, and then you start building, right? And you didn't make $1 million your first month, and you don't care, and you're ready to build. Then all of a sudden you get to like $200 a week, and something unlocks in your brain. It's like, wait a minute, this is kind of crazy, these things that we wear and this is what we do, but I'm making $1,000 a month, pretty residual, like not working as much as I could. And it unlocks something. And then all of a sudden you grow a little bit and you get to maybe $300 or $400 a week. And you're like, I'm making a couple, $2,000, $3,000 a month, doing what everyone thinks is insane and crazy, working less than ever in my life to make this money. And it just unlocks something in your brain. And then my prayer, my hope, my cry is that everybody then gets to where they make a comma in their check every single week. And when you make a comma in your check every single week, something unlocks inside of your brain. And if you do it for long enough, it stays unlocked and it continues to unlock more and more levels to where you realize the rest of the world's kind of crazy. Like, this is it. This is where we should be. Why is everyone not doing this? Then you can't understand why none of your friends or your family or anyone will even give you the time of day, because you're like, you don't understand what is happening here. 1 plus 1 doesn't equal 1 here sometimes, right? It equals 5. But it takes time to build, and it takes time to get there. But with every little level, it unlocks a new level of belief and a new level of dreaming and a new level of understanding of what we have at our fingertips. Right? So I just encourage you, like, don't forget what we have. Don't forget it. It's so good. Even my buddy that I was talking to, that's a multi-millionaire, however many times over, and he's telling me about how hard the last 4 years have been because his business is cyclical and he's been in a really bad cycle. And I'm like, man, even the people that you think have won forever and they're done, they still go through this. But here, if you can build up residual, the ups and downs of everything else, they come and they go, but this residual stays, if not grows, if we're doing it right. Right? Now, I'll tell you what I also believe. I personally believe that sometime in the future, probably sooner than later, we're going to have a little bit of a reset in our economy. I do. I just do. Um, if I could really nerd out on tons of stuff and you would go, I'm not following you, but it's the world I live in. I am an investment advisor and it is, something that I live in every day because I love investments. And you can't continue to run at the pace we're running at. You just can't. The way that we're running, it doesn't make sense. Everything is inflated. Inflation is probably coming back. The market's probably about to take a hit. It has to happen at some point. It does. It's like math. It doesn't have to happen next month, but it is going to happen sooner or later. And we are going to have some sort of a reset. Might not be huge, but it is going to be a reset and it could be devastating. Here's my point. I believe with all of my heart that we are now in a time and in a place where this industry is about to see massive momentum. Massive momentum. Guys, even I want you to think about this. Even if nothing changes in our economy and they keep printing dollars and we keep the market keeps artificially growing the way that it is, which makes no sense, right? Everything is way out of proportion. AI alone is doing things to our country that we've never seen before. The amount of people that are going to be not only out of jobs, but out of jobs with nowhere to go, we've never experienced in our country ever. That alone is going to drive people to this gig economy. Now, you throw on some hard times, you throw on a 30% dip in the market, exponential. Do you want to know the perfect storm for direct sales? The perfect storm, high unemployment, right? And a weak economy. Everyone that I know that I listen to, that I follow, that I read, that I talk to every day says that's our future. At some point in the months and years to come, it's coming, right? High unemployment and probably a weaker economy for a period of time, right? You are, I say that not to scare you, not at all, right? Because we actually have the answer. We actually have a place where people can fall and an opportunity that people can get involved with and not only get by, not survive if they want, but really thrive. And I mean really thrive. Ask Devin and Sarah Robinson, hey, when did you make all of your money? Of all of the money that you made, when did most of it come? And you know when most, is she on here, Sarah? Are you on here? You know when most of the money that they made came in direct sales? She's not on here. 2008, 2009, 2010, 2011. Those 4 years. Remember that if you're old enough? The worst time ever in the economy. That's when they made millions and millions and millions and millions and millions of dollars because they were in this industry, right place, right time. Boom, here it explodes. Guys, I'm telling you, you're in the right place at the right time. You just have to have some stick to itiveness. You have to stay with it. You have to stay here and be engaged and continue to bring on customers day after day and brand partners when they fall and brand partners when they fall every single day because we are on the verge of some really, really good times right here. And I just want to encourage you with that. I know it's a little off topic. I'll encourage you with that as well. So we have 9 minutes left. I try to keep these under 30 minutes, and I've talked the whole time, which is a lot. So who would like to open up and share? Go ahead, Jonah. Can you not unmute? Do I need to unmute you?
I wasn't sure who you said, if you said my name or not, but I was clapping. But I'll happily share.
Yeah, come on.
Um, yeah, first of all, thank you. Every Wednesday is awesome. I just want to share that, I'm having my own personal, um, I guess you could call it a block or like a hurdle where I feel like, okay, I've been in the same position for, I've been here at Lifeway for a year and a half. And I sort of feel like I've plateaued for about the past year or so. But what you're saying is true, and I know it because I've had the experience where in a previous company, I had an amazing first year, and then it plateaued for like 3.5 years. And so many people are like, wow, you haven't quit yet? Like, wow, you're so good for you. You're sticking in there. And I'm like, no, I'm not doing it because I have nothing better. I'm doing it because I see the future. And I just waited for the one right person. I didn't wait. I was completely recruiting like a madman. But I recruited one person and she completely changed my life and my career. She just had it. She just had what it took and it changed my life. And so I know that, if I'm making a certain level, I'm like, I don't know if I can share income claims, but like I'm right around the comma mark on a weekly
Yeah.
basis, which for me is a huge milestone. But it's
Yeah.
also like, I know it can be 10 times that. And I know
Mm.
that the people on my team have not quite hit that yet either. So I just want to share for everyone, like just keep going, but you can't keep waiting. You have to keep doing the revenue producing activities because you never know who it's going to be or what group of people it's going to be or when it's going to be. But I will say that everything you shared today is totally showing up in my LifeWave business because I have people that would normally never look at network marketing that are
Mm.
coming to me being like, "Hey, I just got furloughed, I just got laid off, or I'm seeing that other people are getting laid off. Like what was it, those 50,000 layoffs from
Yeah.
I forget that company, Oracle.
Yeah.
Like that's just one domino. There's going to be many companies, and we're going to be here, recession-proof industry. So if
Mm.
you're not there yet, keep going. I'm still here. I'm going to keep going.
Amen. Thanks, brother. Thanks for sharing that. That's so good. So good. Anybody else want to share? Yeah, go ahead, Lucy.
Yes, I had so many takeaways from this divine weekend, and one of it was you are one person away, and this really sticks in my head even when I'm completely zombified on the 12-hour journey plane. and, so this really makes me strike conversation with people, and I'm noticing I'm getting better at it, like much more natural rather than pitching immediately, inquiring about their lives. And it's amazing how natural it's like a ping pong, how the opportunity to tell what we have comes when you actually ask about the people, like
All right.
what they do. And so yeah, so I actually collected quite a few contacts and patched people, and so has Pixie.
Yeah.
She was absolutely amazing. I would love her to share how she did it actually.
I wore my shirts and my hoodies, and people said, "Hey, what's that about?" And they loved the designs. And then I got talking, and they said, "Oh, what's stem cell? What's that then?" And I just go, I said, "Oh, I have some in my bag. Can I patch you?" And I tell, and then that's it. So I did that on the way out, and I did it on the way back.
Yeah,
So
So good.
it's free advertising. I mean, I haven't patched today, and God, I can feel it because I'm in too many time zones. But I normally have one up here, and I'll say, what's that then?" So I just was wearing it instead. It really does work, but it's because I had fun doing the design. So I'm actually really in it, and it makes people laugh or talk, and it opens up the conversation. So whatever you do, it's about opening up a conversation. Whatever route you go that works for you, that's what it's really about. The one that you're comfortable with. And then the rest of it just flows. So, and I love it. And I got a great photograph. She was like grinning like anything, and she had it on her back of her neck, and she's turning around, and oh, it was fantastic. It made my day. It made me
yeah.
so happy that she was so happy. So
Yeah.
that's
That's
all I
so
want to
good.
share.
Pixie means she patched several air hostesses. So
Tell you what, you're not getting out of her reach. She gonna get you. Oh, I love it. That's so good. So good. I know that's what it's about. Yeah, you're right, Lucy. You're one person away. You're one person away. Oh my gosh. I've told you this story. I probably haven't told y'all this in like a year. I'm gonna tell it right now to end it. All right. So my first ever company, there's a guy that was a top income earner. At that time, he was probably making maybe like $50,000 a month. and he just got home from a long weekend of meetings, kind of like what we just did, right? And he's coming home, and his wife said, "Hey, by the way, our neighbor wanted to know what we did. They're coming over tonight for dinner. If you could kind of share what we do." And he's like, "Are you kidding me? Like, I'm so tired. Like, the last thing I want to do is meet new people and have to do another presentation." He's like, "But whatever, it's my wife, I'm coming home to it, so here it is." Well, that one person that was his neighbor just so happened to take his income from 50,000 to over 200 and one time over $300,000 a month. That one person. Guess what it was? It was a meeting he didn't want to take. It was a meeting he didn't want to take. Guys, I'm telling you, it's always the person you don't want to talk to. It's the call you don't want to get on. It's the meeting you don't want to take. You're too tired. You're too busy. You're too whatever it is. It seems to always come like that. At least for us, it has. It's like you're digging, you're digging, you're digging, you're digging, you're digging. You're exhausted. You can't dig anymore. You dig one more time, and boom, you find the gold nugget. You know what I mean? Like that's usually how people are rewarded. That's kind of just it's one of those things. The harder you work, the luckier you get. Isn't that funny how that works? And so, anyways, one person away. Every single person on this call is one person on the way. And you go, well, yeah, but that would only be on one leg. What about my other leg? No, 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 no. You trust me when I say you're one person away on either leg from a totally different life. Like that you might not make it in the binary, but you will make it in a lot of other different ways. So trust me, you're one person away. So, anyways, well, guys, love you guys. Y'all have a great, awesome Wednesday. I think we got a call tonight, testimonial call tonight, and but go out and crush the rest of your day. We'll talk soon.